Now, after this, I've moved on with the discussion of what is cybersecurity threat, wherein I've made you all understand the meaning of cybersecurity threat. Okay, there, and I've asked you all to do a research on types of cybersecurity threat and cybersecurity threat actor, for which you'll have done some beautiful research and you'll have given me some beautiful outputs. Okay, so just a quick brush up before I move ahead on the different types of cybersecurity, although you'll have done the research work and submitted the assignment beautifully. Here, I want you to remember at least one of the things: phishing, spear phishing, man in the middle attack. All of these we are going to see in detail in future as well. But right now, I want to you all to remember one of the thing. Whenever the word malware comes in picture, whenever the word malware comes in picture, what should come in your mind? Malware is nothing but it's a malicious software. It's a malicious software. Malware. See, I'll give you. I'll type something in the chat window. Just look into it. Can you see in the chat window? I've written malware and software. So the MAL from malware and WARE from software. Okay, we have extracted this from here and we have created a word called malware. So malware is nothing but it's a software that is dangerous for your system, software that can harm your system. Okay, so the moment you hear the word malware, what should strike in your mind? I am talking of malicious software. What am I talking about? I'm talking about malicious software. Okay, that is used by the cyber criminals, that is used by the hackers to disrupt, to damage the legitimate users. Okay, this malware can be virus, can be spyware, can be trojans, can be worms, can be ransomware, right? So please remember to go through the study guide once, that will give you a more elaborative explanation of this, right? And who carry out this malicious activity? The person who carry out this malicious activity are the one whom we call malicious actors. Got my point? So malicious actors are the one who carry out this activity. Okay. Now what we need to remember is the policies that we need to follow as far as cybersecurity is concerned, right? So there are two policies. See, if you are the manager, if you are the employee of an organization, remember, cybersecurity is not only important for somebody who is an hacker. Don't be under the impression cybersecurity is only for the people who are looking forward to make their career in hacking, who are looking forward to make their career in networking. No. People from finance background, people from HR background, people from operational background, people from any field. Since we are working digitally, since more than 80% of the world has gone digital, more than 60% of the activity is being carried out digitally, cybersecurity has become an important thing to learn for each one of you. Do you agree on this point? So irrespective of whether you are into hacking or not, whether you are into networking or not, if you are a manager of the company, then too you should know cybersecurity, because if you train your employees, if you are the one who know the mitigation step, if there are 80 employees working in the organization and all of these 80 employees, they know the fundamental of cybersecurity, they know the mitigation steps, that means they themselves will be precautionary when working. So at the end of the day, what will be secured? Your network will be secured, your server will be secured, your organization will be secured. Am I making sense to you guys? Got my point? So as an organization, if you are planning to secure your network, Patrick, do you have any query? Because I can see your hand raised. Or was it a consent that you have understood? Guys, It's a small request. Please give your consent with a thumbs up. We will use hand raise only when I create the room for question and answer session. Okay, not an issue, Patrick. Noted. Right? So you as an organization, you as an entity, what policy you will follow? Okay, to implement cybersecurity in your organization. So there are two policies. Okay, remember the elaborative note of this is also provided in the study guide. Please go through it. But let me teach you, when we are talking about security policies, security policies are the basis of the security for the technology infrastructure of your company. Got my point? In a way, they are regulatory of the behaviors of your employees toward the use of technology in workplace. And if they follow these policies, this will minimize the risk of being hacked, information leak, internet bad usage, and it will also ensure safeguarding of your company resources. So don't you think it is important? It is, right? So when I'm saying you policies, it is divided into two categories, as you can see in the diagram: user policy and IT policy. Okay. Now, user policies generally define the limit of the user towards the computer resources in a workplace. You remember yesterday I told you we are setting a limit of the usage for every employee in the organization. If you are an executive, sale executive, you will have a limited access to the portal. If you are an IT personnel, you will have a different access to the portal. If you are the HR person, you got my point? I cannot allow the person from the marketing department to control the server room, to get the access of the server. You got my point? I cannot appoint somebody who is very good in sales to take care of the IT infrastructure, right? So when I'm saying user policy, here I'm setting the policies for the user. Which user will be handling which particular portal, and which user will get access to which particular modules. Am I making sense to you? Please give me a quick thumbs up if yes. Right? So user policies will define the limit of the user towards the computer resources in the workplace. Got my point? That means, for an example, what are we allowing to install in the computer? Got my point? There in the organization, you might have seen we set a firewall and we set a limitation for installing. You cannot install any software on the computer that you are using in the office because we are restricting it using firewall. So any software that the IT team will feel it not appropriate, they will include this in the policy, and you as an employee will not be able to open it. Am I making sense to you? So which portal, which websites will be open on your browser? For that also, you need to set a policy for your company. That is included in the cybersecurity precautionary steps. Am I making sense to you? Is user policy clear with everyone? Right? Then comes IT policy. So IT policies are basically designed for IT department, and this is to secure the procedure and the functions of the IT field. So when I say general policy, this is the policy which defines the rights of the staff and the access level of the system. So generally it is included even in the communication protocol as a preventive measure in case there are any disaster. And when I'm saying server policy, Server policy defines who should have access to the specific server and with what rights. I repeat again, server policy will define who should have access to a specific server and with what rights. Got my point? I just told you which software should be installed, the level of access to the internet, and how they should be updated. That is also important. Got my point? Making sense? Okay. See, for an example, if in my company I'm using MS Office 2019, right? And I have used all the precautionary protocols. I have all the precautionary firewalls for this version of MS Office. Okay. So no employee in the organization can come and update the MS Office from 2019 to 2023. This will be against the policy. Got my point? Am I making sense to you? So this can only be done by the IT department under firewall access and configuration policy. So under firewall access and configuration policy, first IT department will set a firewall and will configure the security policy for 2003 version. Only then the employee will be allowed to use that. Got my point? Am I making sense to you? See, there is no straight definition to the for the IT policy, Felix. IT policy is nothing but it is a protocol that an organization is setting that is to be used in the organization in order to prevent your IT infrastructure. Am I making sense? Frederick, is your doubt clear, gentlemen? Right? Okay. Perfect. So now, uh, under firewall access and configuration policy, I already told you it is here we are defining that who. Okay, there is one more important thing under firewall access. That is here we also define that who should have access to the firewall and what type of access. Okay, we can give access for monitoring. We can give access for change in the rule. Got my point? So depending upon what designation you are standing under IT department, you will get the access. Got my point?